What is up? I hope you're doing well. I want to start recording basically a video every Sunday of the reflections and the lessons that I have along my entrepreneurial journey. Because I'm not gonna lie, this has been an idea that I've had for a few weeks now, possibly even a few months, but I've never really executed on it. That's something I need to get better at, just executing on things faster. So yeah, I have 3 reflections right here I want to go over, and I want to do this weekly like I said, because looking back on it, as I just progress as an entrepreneur, as I grow my brand, my business, it's gonna be really valuable and just really cool to just look back on and just know all this progress I made. The first reflection I have, or the first lesson of the week, I need to learn how to work way quicker during the day and from task to task. A lot of the times during the day, I'll have maybe 3 to 5 tasks or so, but I honestly move very slow during them. So usually the tasks I have consists of working on the affiliate pages I'm building up, my YouTube videos, stuff like this, another page except on YouTube or another guy I'm working with, client work, and then also just learning things, reading, or maybe going through the Capital Club Academy courses, maybe the Hamza Adana School stuff. There's all these tasks I have during the day, but I move so slowly. This is something I need to just keep myself accountable with. And maybe you move very slowly as well when it comes to your business tasks that you have to get done on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes with client work, one simple edit or maybe some tweaks, like a series of tweaks, it could end up taking me 2-3 hours, but it should have taken 1 hour, or maybe at max an hour and 30 minutes. The way I plan to move way faster is actually I've been doing this, but basically just using this timer and just being really conscious of the time. It's like a Fitbit, and I set the time right here. I'll set it 5 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. During my work tasks, I'll set it to 60 minutes. And within that hour, I try to get as much done as possible, as well as just focusing a lot more on the task at hand, what I'm doing, because I can oftentimes just get caught up on other tasks I need to do during the day, even though I'm not on that task yet. I'm just focusing on the current task. There's some famous person or some person that basically said, focus on the task at hand. Maybe that was from a video game, because I know this one video game character, Genji from Overwatch, said that, but I don't know if actual real life person said that. Anyway, that's the first reflection or lesson for this week. I need to learn how to work way quicker, because it'll then lead to way more progress and way more success, way more fulfillment in my endeavors. Lesson number 2, I need to stop overthinking, because deep down I already know what to do. So I just need to stick to the game plan, see it through, and ultimately I need to believe in myself more. I can actually achieve what it is that I set out to do. Maybe you relate to this a lot too, but it's we've already gotten some results in something, yet our minds, we almost think that we need to change the plan, or we need to ditch the plan, whatever it is that we're pursuing. But it's why do we need to ditch the plan if it's already proven to work? If we have proof of concept, if we already have proof of concept, then the plan should be, how are we going to scale this up? How are we going to make this more efficient, attract more clients, or make the clients we currently have more valuable? How are we going to keep on progressing? And these are the questions I need to be asking myself, because there's just random moments during my day where even though I set the day plan, even though I set plan for the week and the goals for the month, and ultimately just the direction I want to go in, there's times in the day where I'll just start to question myself. I'm should I actually be doing this? Should this actually be the move that I'm making? Ultimately, I think it just stems from not having full belief at that moment, and I just need to have more belief in the actual plan, that it's going to work, and that I'm the person that is built for it. A lot of people, they do make plans, but they're not built for it. I think that's a lyric by Dave from one of his songs with Central C. Or no, that's from Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow said something like that. Man that had a plan, but he didn't have it in him, or something like that. I might play a snippet of it.
You had a man that had a plan, but he ain't have it in him.
This is all to say, basically, we need to stick to the plan, and we need to believe in ourselves that we can actually do it, because we are meant for it. And the vision that we have for ourselves, it is aligned with what we need to do. It's aligned with where we need to be. If we didn't have that vision, if we didn't have this plan, then why would we even think about pursuing it? The very last thing I want to talk about is actually a quote by this guy named Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and it's actually from this book. It's not directly in the book, but he's the author of this book known as Psycho-Cybernetics. I bought this book almost a month ago, and I basically got to page 50 or so, but I decided to start it over because I wasn't reading it that consistently, and ideally I like reading books when I'm actually consistent on them, so I retain the information. It's a pretty long quote. I actually got it from an interview he had. This interview was a few decades ago, but I found it on YouTube. It really resonated with me, and I want to share it with you. The quote basically says, if you learn that negative feeling makes your image shrink to the size of a small potato, and if you learn to turn your back on the failures of the past and concentrate on the confidence of yesterday and use that confidence today, now, N-O-W, in your present undertaking, you will learn how to succeed in life.
If you learn that negative feeling make your image shrink to the size of a small potato, and if you learn to turn your back on the failures of the past and concentrate on the confidence of yesterday and use that confidence today, now, N-O-W, in your present undertaking, you will learn how to succeed in life.
The way he said this quote is crazy. I wrote this down because oftentimes, just throughout this year, I've had moments where I've started to reflect on like things could have gone way better in this department, my life, or maybe like this department, my business. I just could have done things better. Or maybe there's certain aspects of my year where I started slipping up into old ways, into old habits. Like this weekend, for example, I was starting to slip into like old ways, old bad habits and stuff like that. But I caught myself reading this quote and just thinking about it from that frame. It's like there's an idea that he has that I got from the interview, chronic frustration. And he basically says chronic frustration is a state of mind where you're just constantly reliving your past failures. You're constantly reliving the past mistakes that you made, the past decisions that you made that you're ultimately not filled with, that you're not happy with. And I've honestly had this chronic frustration quite a bit, I'd say. Maybe without even knowing it. So maybe you've had it as well. In the back of your mind, maybe subconsciously or even consciously, you're thinking about those bad moves you made, those bad decisions, those failures that you had, be it personal, be it in business, fitness, your habits, whatever. Maybe you're thinking about those things a lot. But he's basically saying here in this quote and the book overall, and especially the interview, you need to learn to just see it for what it is and to not identify with yourself as being like a failure or something like that. Instead of focusing on the past, just focus on the now. Just focus on the present moment. Focus on who you want to become, the self-image you want to build. And if you are going to think about the past, he says, think about the confidence of the past, or the successes that you had, which I haven't gotten to that part in the book, but it was something he was mentioning a lot in the interview, which I find very interesting. So I definitely need to read the book more. The days where I just focus entirely on the present moment and I just attack what I need to do, it's crazy. Like, really a nice feeling to just go to bed knowing that you did what you need to do, but most of all, you just focused on living the present moment and just fulfilling your purpose for that day. That said, that's the video. I think looking back on this in a few years' time when I'm very successful, this is gonna be really cool. Also, I want to bring you along on this journey of just us growing together as entrepreneurs, as people. It's gonna be really cool. Like I said, looking back on this, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.